Hey, what is going on, folks? So, I received a nice comment, and it was basically, if you don't know what gene seed is at this moment, you should learn. And I was like, you're kind of right. Now I understand. Here's my information on gene seed. So, space marine has like a gene seed, and you can harvest one like when they die, but if they mature, there might possibly be two. So there's that. So like you can only grow your space marines so much. What I have lined up today is, so first of all, I've been interested in Major Kill. I love these videos that are under 20 minutes. I just do. So I saw his video for 13 minutes and I was already interested in Major Kill. So this is gonna be my first video checking them out. I feel like, how are you interested in Major Kill? So what I do is, you're about to see, I load up videos and I'll just click randomly somewhere. I'll listen to the person for like 3 seconds and then I'll be like, "Oh, I like that person," or "I like that personality," and such like that. That's how I like pick videos. So I was interested in Marvelous videos. I kind of feel like they're AI. I'm not really hating on it because I've used that as a content creator. I personally prefer to like watch like real people that have personality and stuff. Circling to that, Lutenin 9, I already react to his material. I think he's very good. It's just his voice isn't the most exciting, but like I'm gonna watch Lutenin 9 content. I support him, but I didn't choose this as my first video. This one also sounds robotic.
Genetic material
Like it's
necessary for
cool though.
transforming a
It's cool though. So I might circle to this. I like that. Sometimes AI is fire. So I don't know if this is AI, I just assume because sometimes like this is so perfect, you just never know. So, anyways, taking everything home, guys. We're gonna check out this Gene Seed Explained, and I'm gonna check out Wes Hammer's What Makes Space Marine So Powerful. If you think I don't have enough from these videos, then we can definitely dive into, actually I might just check this out. This is like 5 minutes, man. Let me see what's good. And Loot 9 is like, let me know if I gotta watch Loot 9. Like, and when I say let me know, like I'm honest, like I prefer the high energy kind of people, but at the same time, I still value the information. It's cool. So like it is what it is. What affects me most is not actually listening to it. What affects me most is you guys wanting an exciting reaction. If I'm listening to Loot 9 and I'm keeping it 100 with y'all, I'm not gonna be overly hyped. I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, man. The Space Marines did X, Y, and Z." But if I'm listening to Bricky, I laugh my ass off. And if I listen to Wes Hammer, I'm gonna chuckle. So it just impacts how you see me react. That's a long explanation, man. So let's check out Major Kill's Gene Seed Explained by an Australian.
G'day guys and gal. As much as I and other Xeno-loving hobbyists hate to admit it, Space Marines are super popular in the Warhammer community. So much so that 9 out
Wait,
of 10
I missed
releases
his
are
joke.
Space
I
Marine.
missed it. I'm sorry.
G'day guys and gal. As much as I and other Xeno-loving hobbyists hate to admit it,
Xeno-loving
Space Marines are
hobbyists.
super popular in the Warhammer community.
Cool
So
weapon.
much so that 9 out of 10 releases are Space Marine related shit. Now clearly, this is working pretty well for the old G-dubs, as you easy to please monkeys moisten up at the news that a Space Marine model whose only point of difference is that they have a slightly curved wiener is about to drop. But I digress. As such, there's a decent chance that you men and maybe women have heard of Gene Seed. No, I'm not talking about the
I do like this guy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm getting information. I'm also getting a chuckle. It's very natural delivery. Reminds me of the homie West Hammer. It's only been 34 seconds, but I like this kind of delivery. It's a matter of you guys like this video reaction.
splooge you get in your denim pants whenever your crush likes one of your Instagram photos. I'm talking about the various artificial organs that can turn an irradiated spurg into an 8 feet tall angel of death. Science, baby. Today we'll go over what gene seed is, how it's made, and what each gene seed does, and if shoving it up the rectal cavity is indeed the most efficient form of delivery. Let's get into it.
I don't even know how much
Whenever I
of that is
refer to
serious.
Space Marines as roided up super soldiers,
Hold on.
let's get into it. Up the rectal cavity is indeed the 8 feet tall angel of death. Science, baby. Today we'll go over what gene seed is, how it's made, and what each gene seed does, and if shoving it up the rectal cavity is indeed the most efficient form of delivery.
I am so
Let's
curious
get
about what
into
we're
it.
going to get
Whenever
into.
I referred to Space Marines as roided up super soldiers,
Jeez.
I was only half joking.
I
After
see.
all, they do take a lot of substances which do make them huge, and it does greatly reduce the effectiveness of their penises. However,
Really?
unlike the limp dick roid junkies of our modern era, Space Marines can brush off a shotgun blast to the chest and actually contribute to society. The original gene seed was created by the Emperor with the help of a few scientists from the moon and some bitch with the last name Astartes. I don't say bitch here in a womanizing tone. She betrayed the Emperor later on, which is a bit of a bitch move. Hence, the Emperor created 19 different organs, as well as a basic outline on how to insert said organs. And no, unfortunately, shoving
I can't go back. He's like, no, I don't mean it like that. I mean, like, nah, she betrayed the Emperor. What a bitch. I get behind that.
tone. She betrayed the Emperor later on, which is a bit of a bitch move. Hence, the Emperor created 19 different organs, as well as a basic outline on how to insert said organs. And no, unfortunately, shoving them up the ass is not the most efficient form of delivery.
Wow, I was looking forward to
The gene seed was
that.
created using the genetic templates of each legion's Primarch, and was very easy to create back in the day when Primarchs were a thing. No Primarch, however, meant extreme difficulty in making gene seed. This is why gene seed is considered so valuable in the current setting, because
Oh, this is so cool. I'm watching how they put on the armor and he has a sword out. That's pretty fire, man. That is a specimen of mankind.
it's an absolute bitch to make, which is also the confusing part of gene seed. More on that later. The first gene seed organ is the secondary heart. Doesn't take a genius to figure out what that is and what it does. Having a second heart before you enter the limp dick phase of an Astartes creation cycle basically just primes your body and makes it super healthy. When you're a full-blown Space Marine, a second heart also means you can survive otherwise fatal wounds for some time until you can get medical attention. Very handy. The next gene seed organ is the osmodula. Now, I need to be honest, the pronunciation for a lot of these gene seed names are a little bit above an Australian's pay grade, but I'll do my best. This next organ is put in your brain, and it secretes a shitload of special HGH. This is the organ that blows you the fuck up, making you grow to 7 feet or taller and giving you some serious girth on everywhere except where it matters most. Your bones become dense, and your ribcage fuses together to form an inner shield. This makes you more or less bulletproof while making surgeries a massive bitch to perform on you.
Yeah,
so just don't get fucked up enough to require surgery.
From the Defenders.
Probably easier said than done though when your enemy looks like this. The gene seed organ, which is implanted at the same time as the first couple, is the Biosocopia, which is an organ which pumps out an endless supply of anabolic goodies. This organ puts muscle growth into...
nah, I mean, these dudes are really super soldiers. Yeah, like, of course but like, nah, for real, bro. They got extra organs. They remind me of black people with the extra leg muscles that enables us to run faster and jump higher. Like, I understand now. I was like, oh, you guys have extra organs too. So do we. We're something like Space Marines ourselves. That's awesome, man.
Overdrive.
This is fascinating.
And it works with the osmodula to introduce dramatic physical change that an Astartes must undergo. The fourth gene seed organ is the Chamisthian, which makes Space Marine blood more spicy. It allows blood to more efficiently transport nutrients around the body, which means that the second heart, as well as the osmodula and the Biscopia, are being used to their fullest potential and aren't getting bottlenecked because your blood sucks. A side effect of this gene seed organ is that Space Marine blood is unusually bright and colourful due to the abundance of oxygen in it. Now that we have more or less created the child of the rock, them homies got mad oxygen. Let's start adding in the super soldier parts. The Laraman's organ is the fifth gene.
We're not even super soldiers, guys. Did you guys hear that? I was very like, yo, we got 3 extra organs, 2 hearts. You can pump your blood very efficiently, and I actually missed what the other one did. But I'll just go back to it. This is, and then he's like, and now we're gonna start the super soldier thing. What? If any one of us just had remotely these abilities, we're already at the upper echelon of humanity. You know, this is crazy, and we're just getting started.
And is more or less give Space Marines super healing. Gone to the
I didn't even yo, they got super healing, okay? Before that, them boys was virtually bulletproof because their rib cages fused together and they have thicker bones than normal people. Let's keep going. Super healing.
Of overly obnoxious paper cuts or multi-day hemorrhoids. This gene seed allows nearly instant blood clotting when an Astartes cops a wound, which is why they're able to run around with half their limbs missing like it's nobody's business. Instant scar tissue, baby. Quick nod to the creator of Astartes, may he rest in peace, for this scene here, where you can see the instant blood clotting after old mate has a bit of a tacking runt. The 6th gene seed organ
I've seen that in something. I didn't understand what that was. Cool.
is called the Carapace, which is inserted at the base of the cerebrum. Now it might seem weird, but Space Marines need sleep just as much as normal people. After all, sleeping is when your body does shit like build muscle and replenish libido. However, as Space Marines are killing shit all the time, sleep isn't always a luxury they can afford. Hence the Carapace offers a temporary solution. If a Space Marine is sleep deprived and begins to lose combat effectiveness, the Carapace, sorry, it's kind of fun to say it like that, allows a Space Marine to turn off different parts of their brain in order to focus their energy on being awake and alert. Like I said though, this is a temporary fix. The longest a Space Marine has gone without sleep is 328 hours, which is actually quite similar to normal humans' PB of 264 hours. The 7th gene seed organ is the Progenoid, which is like a stomach before your stomach. This gene
There's not much artwork. What do you wait? There's not much artwork on gene seeds, so please bear with me. Cool.
Before your stomach. This gene seed allows a Space Marine to pretty much eat whatever they want. It makes them immune to most poisons and allows them to gain nutrition out of almost anything.
That's crazy.
Like a Space Marine could eat a fucking log and get some protein out of it.
No, what?
This gene seed works with the Belcher gland, as any poisons filtered out of their food can be stored in that one for later
awesome.
use. The 8th gene seed
They're pretty easy to feed.
Which is by far the fucking weirdest. Like, all of them have made complete sense up until this one. It's like, this one's like, why? Basically, the omophagia allows a Space Marine to relive the memories of someone or something by consuming its flesh. Like, sure, that's handy, but it just seems like such a random thing to throw into the mix. Over time, the omophagia of various Space Marine chapters has mutated, making chapters like the Space Sharks or the Flesh Tearers especially bitey.
Ooh.
The 9th gene seed organ is the multi-lung, because not every organ needs a difficult name. This gene seed organ is basically an extra lung that is more resilient than the other two. It allows for breathing in low oxygen areas or even areas.
I was like, dude, when did we get the second one? That's funny. The pair, okay.
It allows for breathing in low oxygen areas or even areas with toxic air, to an extent. Not the most exciting gene seed on the list, but definitely makes sense to have.
Yeah, it's
cool. The 10th gene seed organ is the oculobe, which is like a tiny organic computer that plugs into a Space Marine's eyes. As the Space Marine, or neophyte as they're called during their indoctrination, is growing into their new bodies, their eyes are programmed and trained to be extremely effective in any light or situation. The oculobe allows this programming to work. The 11th gene seed organ is the lineman's ear, and it kind of does for the ears what the oculobe does for the eyes. The lineman's ear replaces one of the Space Marine's old ears and makes them immune to dizziness or motion sickness, while also greatly improving their hearing and ability to distinguish noises from each other. The 12th gene seed organ gives us another weird one, the Susan membrane. This gene seed is useless if not properly used, and it takes years of training and other weird shit that Astartes do to allow a Space Marine to tap into it. Basically, the Susan membrane allows a Space Marine to enter into a state of intense hibernation. During this hibernation, they do not need food or water, and they can use this as a last resort if they're stranded or mortally wounded. Like, one dude survived nearly 600 years in this state, so it's definitely handy if you find yourself bored out of your mind with your entrails spilling out in front of you. The 13th gene seed organ is the melanochrome. This is basically an extra layer of skin that prevents Space Marines from getting mega cancer from all the times they spend in space around suns and shit. It also helps prevent mega cancer from other forms of radiation. Yeah, look, we could really use some melochrome down under. We have a fucking hole in our ozone layer and it shows. The 14th gene seed organ is the hole in our ozone layer and it shows.
Skin cancer is a major cause of illness in Australia.
The 14th gene seed organ is the kidney, which acts as
kidney.
an emergency I need to shit this shit out of me system. If a space marine endures a poison that even their strong immune system and
These guys have so much abilities. I tapped out. After the halfway mark, I stopped being impressed. I don't know if anyone saw me. The lung, the third extra lung should have been impressive. By now, I'm like, yeah, they have everything, bro. I was impressed by having an extra heart, by a strong exoskeleton and a fused lung, and powerful, efficient blood. And they just kept adding more. And I was like, nah, this is OP, man. These guys are just OP. Anyways, I see why the orcs like fighting them so much.
phenomenal organ can't handle, the otochilic
No,
kidney will
talk,
make them
dude.
shit so hard that they pass out. That's not even a joke. When this organ isn't being used for emergency life-saving defecation, it helps maintain balance and health of the other organs. The 15th gene seed organ is the neuroglottis, which is
Something in
implanted
their
into
mouth?
Space Marine's nose. This gene seed helps avoid the need
Nose.
for emergency otolic kidney usage by allowing a Space Marine to test the nutritional value and toxicity of a substance by smelling or chewing it.
That
It
makes
has an
sense.
added benefit of also allowing a Space Marine to detect scents, hence they can become ass-sniffing dogs. The Space Wolves' neuroglottis is overdeveloped. Hence why they
The-
sniff ass like a preschooler sniffs glue. The 16th gene seed
This
organ is the mucanranoid, which is also fucking weird and pretty dumb. Gene seed like the mucanranoid is the kind of
Mucanranoid.
shit that really dehumanizes an Astartes. Basically, this organ allows a space marine to jizz out a cocoon that they can
Jizz out a
hibernate in
cocoon?
when they're in a
What?
hostile environment.
We were talking
I
about the
honestly can't
hibernating
think of a
earlier.
single in-law time a space marine wanted to cosplay as a fucking wannabe butterfly, but hey, nice to know they can if they want to. The 17th gene seed organ is the Belcher's gland, which is
Acid?
non-functional for a number of space marines due to gene seed quality degrading over time. This gene seed allows, or used
Gene seed degrading over time. Is it getting harder to create space marines because the gene seed is degrading? Let's talk about that.
to allow a space marine to spit acid. I mean, yeah, I can think of times when that would come in handy, but like, bruh, you can already make a cocoon.
It is
Surely
corrosive.
also don't spit acid. The 18th gene seed organ is the progenoid glands, which are the most important and are considered to be the true gene seed.
The
progenoid
true
glands are
gene
quite
seed.
complicated, and they're the source of all the confusion that stems from gene seed lore, so use those ears of yours and listen up. The progenoid glands basically exist to create more gene seed.
Okay.
It does this by detecting the presence of other gene seed, then it begins to reproduce those gene seeds within itself. After 5 or 10 years, the gene seed organs in the progenoid glands will be mature enough to be extracted and used to create more space marines. When the Primarchs were around, this wasn't necessary, but without them, this is one of the only ways to make new space marines. When a space marine dies, an apothecary of that chapter will make it his priority to extract the progenoid glands from his dead battle brother, so that they can use it to make more gene seed organs, hence more space marines. That's why you never see them try to take out all 19 gene seed organs at once. They really only need the progenoid gland, and the rest stem from that. The Mechanicus produces and stores a ton of gene seed themselves, which is why space marine chapters try to stay on their good side. The Mechanicus has a more fucked up way of making gene seed though. They basically shove a progenoid gland into a slave, allow it to mature, produce the other gene seed organs within the slave, then they kill the slave and take out the goodies from within them. As progenoids can make other progenoids, this is a disturbingly effective technique. Honestly, the more I learn about gene seed, the more space marines start to gross me out. And finally, the last gene seed for firstborn space marines is the black carapace.
That's a whole cool concept. So you have to recover your bodies. They're not smashing ladies, but they're reproducing, but they don't reproduce a body. You just the material to make them. And you still have and the slave that they grow this in isn't even going to become a space marine. They're just a garden for harvesting. Anyways, that grown black harvest film, the black harvest sheets to be implanted, matured, hardened black carapace. Jay, the doorbell ring? Jay, did the doorbell ring? All right, so whatever this is looking pretty cool.
The black carapace is a synthetic material that sits under the Astartes torso skin and allows said Astarte to directly interface with their power armor via plugging it into their nervous system. This
Oh,
way, they can directly connect to the armor's machine spirit and also find their speed and
machine
strength
spirit.
increase dramatically. Yeah, that makes
Cool.
sense. So those are the 19 gene seed organs for normal space
That's
marines.
cool.
But wait, there's
It's a lot of
more.
work that goes
See,
into these
Cole,
guys.
everyone's favorite mechanical hentai monster, went off and created new and improved space marines called Primaris, which featured
Primaris.
3 new gene seed organs. First were the
Ooh.
sinew coils, which basically just reinforce the connective tissue in space marines, making them stronger. The Magnificat, which boosted the rest of the gene seeds and makes the Primaris taller and sexier. And then for a bit of dash of spice, Cole added the Belsarian Furnace, which acts as a final stand, loading a space marine full of life-boosting chemicals and stims when they're on the verge of death.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it doesn't feel
god.
nice to say, but Primaris Marines are, on a physical level, superior to Firstborn. Also, their tabletop model looks 10 times better, so yeah, get fucked. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be. For only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more Cummy Jeans content. Join the Discord for
Hit the
more memes, and I'll
subscribe
see you in
button
the next one.
and then the real
Peace.
subscribe button. Nah, I
The
love
connective
his
tissue
humor. That
Primaris
was really
more
funny.
on a physical
You just
place to
don't see it.
be. For only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for
Hit the subscribe button. Hit the
more
real
Cummy
subscribe
Jeans
button.
content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
That is awesome. He just gave me a good point, so I'm gonna add that. Anyways, now I like that he had to hit the subscribe button and hit the subscribe button, the real one. Now he is good. He's good. I love this kind of humor. That's what I was talking about earlier. I love this kind of humor. He sneaks it in there. So sometimes, you know, even if you didn't laugh, like who cares? Sometimes people what I don't like is if you try to insert a joke and it's not funny, and you had to sit there with the pause. So I like that he hits a joke, and we're just gonna keep on talking, bro. And if you didn't laugh, so the f what. And the content was pretty good. So I feel like that was a good one. Learn. I don't feel like I'm going to watch this one as much. I might just check it out just to be fun and just post a second video. We'll see. But I thought it was pretty informative. I could also just take it piece by piece. So you guys saw the video and you guys can let me know what you thought in terms of the information and what you guys have to recommend. By the way, the pinned comment is where you guys recommend content. That's where I'm gonna be looking when I'm looking back at things. But no, these Primarchs are like cool, man. They have like not Primarchs. These the Space Marines are cool. They have a whole lot that's packed into them, and I appreciate that they're not easy to build. You know, Captain America is like, we lost the formula, that's it, can't make more of him. These guys, like you actually have to make them, bro. You actually got to put in work, is my understanding. They surgically put in the organs piece by piece. You know, like at different stages in their life. It seems that way after they do the human growth hormone, and the one that one of the organs causes HGH to you know just be pumped throughout their body. I assume that that has to make their body large enough to start having these organs. I assume if I listen to the homie Loot09, he's really gonna break it down. But I'm gonna take y'all recommendation before I jump into it. So that's today's video. Thanks for checking out this journey with me. Until next time, Rockdy Lee. I'm out, guys. And you know I couldn't stop at just one channel. Consider subscribing to the subsidiary channels for your boy Rock Lee, found in the description of this video. Thank you.